Hello, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to learn how to do the double flower power Mother's Day orb balloon. So let's get started. What we want to do is start off with an orb balloon, and I have chose some fun colors to enhance our little project here. So we're going to start off with 4 balloons, making a 3-pump quad out of the 5-inch balloon. So by that I just mean I am taking my 5-inch balloon and bringing it right down to that first ridge, and I'm just going to give it 3 pumps. 1, 2, 3, and again 3 pumps. Full pumps so that you can hear the pump actually stop and start. And then I like to twist it twice, tie it once. I've gone ahead of time and made another one, so this would make we call this a duplet, so a duplet to duplet makes the quad. So I'm just going to take the quad, take my balloon, and go hands-free, and then I'm going to take the balloon and slide it so that it covers up the inflation valve. Now I want to take the inflation valve and just take these 2 balloons and flip them over each other so that it makes a nice, tight, lovely little quad collar here so that they're not dangling down. Nice and tight on there. So now that I have this, we're going to work on our flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with more 5-inch balloons, and I have 5 5-inch balloons, and I'm going to take and do the same thing and just take the balloon and put it right onto that first nodule. I'm going to give this one also 3 pumps. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to make 5 petals. So I'm going to make my duplet, make another duplet, now that I have 2 duplets, I'm going to make the 3rd little petal with 3 pumps on this one. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to tie it into my 2 petals that I already have. So now what I have is just something that looks like 3 and 2. I'm going to put these 3 and 2 together and join everything. And it's not going to look like much yet, but the center of the flower is what's going to really make the difference here. So I'm going to just make 1 pump and another 1 pump, tie these 2 together, and then I'm just going to marry all of these together. So I'm just going to put it inside and put this in the middle of each of these so that it just creates this adorable little flower. Now this flower is going to come along, and I'm just going to put him through the ribbon and tie it on one time so that he's just kind of hanging there. Something very, very cute for almost nothing. So I like to make sure that it's nice and straight on there. And then we're going to make another one. Similar colors but opposite this time. But this one's going to be just a little bit bigger, because generally when you look at things, it's kind of a little smaller on top and bigger on bottom, and that just gives it the right perspective and proportion. Wrap it twice and tie it once. And then my last petal here with 4 pumps. We'll just tie into this one. These come in together and create something that's relatively awkward until you find the center. And again, this is just going to be a 1 pump. And again, a 1 pump. Wrapping it twice, tying it once, And now I'm just going to introduce this into the middle, and then my flower will just kind of find himself. And this gives us our second flower. And see how that center just kind of makes it all so that your petals can't really come forward anymore. So, because he's slightly bigger, I'm going to put him toward the bottom. If he comes just a little bit undone, that's perfectly normal. He just needs a little bit of finagling. And I always like to wrap the ribbon around it just to secure him in there. So now that we have the two flowers, I would like to work on the base, and I've gone ahead of time and I was just going to show you that this could be a very cute centerpiece all on its own. And this is just your little pre-inflate that you order in, your little 9-inch pre-inflate. So let me show you how I did that. I have created, again, 2 quads, and I have 2 pumps on the top quad. 1, 2. Tying them together. I've gone ahead of time and I've made another duplet. So this is my top layer for this. Just going to set him here. And now I'm going to do the bottom layers, you can see in orange. And to give it this look, I'm going to make it larger, so I'm going to go with 4 pumps. Now these can be made for Mother's Day, of course, but this is an everyday idea that you can bring into your floral department as well to bring in some additional income for your store. So you're just going to make a quad, take the larger one, put the smaller one on top, and what I'd like to do at this point is to introduce the weight. I'd like to get one heavy weight and find like a 260 or a 160 balloon, and this is going to just tie these 2 together. So just make it nice and tight, and then what I like to do is just make a figure 8 around here and a figure 8 around here so that it really holds it in place. And now that I have these 2 tails down here, I can tie my little weight inside. So I'm just going to put him in, kind of stuff him in the middle, and then make sure that I have 2 knots on here just in case he comes undone. We won't have any problems with that. And I have quite a bit of extra stretchy 160, 260 left, so I'm just going to figure 8 around just to ensure that this has a nice tight fit. Now you always want to cover your mechanics, and this looks really nice and clean to me. So the thing about this is if this sits directly on the ground, I've seen it happen before, and I don't really have the reason of why it happens, but sometimes they do pop. And just to ensure that you have a nice solid product, I like to get some packing tape and just put it on the bottom of each of these balloons, kind of like you're giving it socks or slippers. It doesn't cost much to do this, and it's a very nice way to ensure that your product, when people get it home, is nice and safe. So just 4 little strips right along the feet that touch the ground. So to get this look is you're going to get your pre-inflate balloon and just find the tail of your balloon and just kind of go backwards and undo and take off the stick. And then we're going to use the similar V8 movement again. So it's just going to come in the side, and you're just going to go a figure 8 around and around and around and around until you can't anymore. So that's nice and secure. Now this is darn cute in and of itself, but what I've gone ahead and done is pre-cut some ribbon, because ribbon is really fun and festive. and it always says, here's the party. So I take this in between the little Mylar balloon and the latex balloon, and all I'm going to do is just tie a bow. So this can just come out and your ribbon's going to come over, and it's just going to have a couple of cute things coming out. Now if something's like this coming out, I always like to also ensure that just the tips of them have a little curl on them. It just is paying attention to the fine detail of things, and it just makes it look a little bit sharper, just so it's got something different and extra. So at this point, I'm going to take my double flowered balloon, and I'm just going to tie this around the base a couple times. And there you have a cute base, darling flowers, adding up to your quad balloon. So let's talk about price on this. Anytime we touch a balloon, we want to add 50 cents. So here we have $2, and then here is $2, $3.50, so this makes $7. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So you have a $17 upgrade in a very short amount of time. So that's just another fun, quick idea for you to do for Mother's Day. Again, if you can have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these all together inside of one little area, I'm sure that you'll sell out of them immediately. Thank you for joining us here at Mayflower, and have yourself a wonderful Mother's Day.